Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Mud and Watch. I am Matthew and this is the watch that I'm going to review today. It is the Mido Ocean Star Tribute, and as the name suggests, it is a tribute paid to a line of Mido watches from the 1940s. Aesthetically, it borrows from the Mido dive watches of the 1960s. Now, let's get into the watch itself. The watch measures at 40 millimeters in diameters. Lug to lug is just over 46 millimeters. The height is 13 millimeters, just above 13 millimeters, and this includes the very dome sapphire glass. The lug width is an odd one at 21 millimeters, so you're gonna have a tough time finding a strap option in the aftermarket for it. However, it comes with a very beautiful bracelet from the manufacturer, so I do not foresee you need to change out the strap. Now this watch is in blue, and the blue is not dark. In fact, it's a very brilliant blue. It gives the vibe of the summer, so very suitable for a dive watch. The dial itself is, I would say, very minimalist, with a matte blue dial and white indices. The indices are printed on the watch, not applied, with the 12 o'clock being triangular and the rest being rectangular. This watch has a date and date complication, so it's very useful as an everyday watch. The star of the dial would be the second hand, which is in orange, so it really pops on the background of the blue dial. The bezel insert has a matching blue color with the blue dial. The insert is not made from ceramic, it's made from aluminum. I believe this is an intentional choice from Mido because it is supposed to mimic the dive watches in the 1960s, and back then there's no ceramic bezel insert. The whole case is in high polish, so it is a smudge magnet. But if you can clean it up, it looks very beautiful. Now the case back itself has a sea star, so it's very appropriate because the name of the watch is Mido Ocean Star. Now let's get into the movement. So this watch is powered by what they call the Caliber 80. It is similar to the Powermatic 80s in the Tissot sister brand. It has a power reserve of 80 hours and a bit rate of 3 bits per second. The good thing about this Powermatic 80 or Caliber 80 movement is that if you wear this on a daily basis to your work and you take out the watch on a Friday night, you'll still be ticking on Monday morning when you put it back on your wrist again. A potential downside of the watch, the movement, is that it has no regulating plate on the movement. They took it out. The watch is regulated from the factory by the manufacturer, but this might be a good thing because from my experience, most of the Powermatic 80 or Caliber 80 movements run within, I would say, 5 seconds a day, plus 5 seconds to minus I think 3 or 4, so very healthy. But if it's not running within spec, a watchmaker would not be able to regulate it for you. You need to bring it back to the manufacturer. They have special tool to regulate it, but it's very rarely that I've known of any Powermatic 80 watches that don't run within spec. They all run very well within specs. Now let's take a look at the bracelet. It's a multi-link bracelet. The links are very small and they are all in high polish. The links are held together by split pins, so a bit of a letdown, but it's alright for this price range. Now the clasp itself is very good. It has a double pusher release, so very easy to operate, and it has this ratcheting extension. So on a hot day, if your wrist swells and you need some extra room, you can adjust this on the flight, and there's no need to you know, add or remove a link. The swing arms is very robust, very solid, and I believe it is the only part of the watch that has a brushed surface. Now back to this watch. I believe this is one of the most underrated watches on the market today, and it is one of the best dive watches from Switzerland that you can buy under $1,000. So let's talk about the price. The retail price is around 1150 USD, but normally you get 15% off from any authorized dealers, so that would make it just above $1,000. If you can negotiate with the authorized dealers, you can even get a better price, so you might get potentially lower than $1,000. And on the used market, it goes for even lesser, around $600 to $700. You can find one in very good condition. And so this watch, what it competes with would be the Seiko Life, the MM200 or MM200 Reduce. Like for example the SPDC 101 or like SPP 143, 147. Those are the watches in the same price range. I believe this watch is superior to those. Aesthetic aside, this watch uses the Powermatic 80, which I believe is superior to Seiko 6R movement, because the accuracy from my experience is much better, and this watch has an 80 hours power reserve as compared to 70 hours in the Seiko. I would say the finishing and the build of a Swiss watch is also superior to Seiko dive watches nowadays. Now I don't want to bash Seiko. They do have some incredible pieces, especially in the Grand Seiko lines, but I feel that these years they are going up a lot in price, especially the prospect in price, especially the prospect line. So they no longer represent good value for money on the market, whereas this one would offer you much more for your bucks. So apart from the price, another factor that contributes to this watch being one of the best watch within the $1,000 range, I believe, is the aesthetics. you get a very a design that is deep in heritage. It is from the Mido watches of the 1960s, and it is very original Mido, so it's not borrowed from any of the other brands such as Rolex. You know, nowadays a lot of companies they build their watches around the same image as the Rolex Submariner. This watch does not. It's all Mido. Now the last reason why I believe this watch is very good value for money is because of the build quality. Given that it has high polish surfaces, but so it's easy to get scratches. However, you could be able to buff out any scratches using products such as Cape Cod polishing cloth. So once in a while you give it a polish and it will stay new for a long time. Now talk about the build quality. Bracelet extremely well built, all solid end link as well, 200 meters of water resistance, very reliable movement, clasp properly milled. What else can you ask for? So with that, I would conclude my review for today. Again, this is the Mido Ocean Star Tribute, and you can find it in any authorized dealer for Mido. And hope you enjoy the video. Give a thumbs up or subscribe if you want, and have a good day everyone. Goodbye.